The main headlines today: Wall Street leaders believe crypto will capture 10% of post-trade market within 5 years. This is a survey from Citi. What they're essentially saying is Wall Street has now entered crypto. And if Wall Street has entered crypto, that is a big flow of money from funds, from institutions, from the retirement accounts, all of the money flowing into crypto. So we're already looking at a crypto market that has hit 4 trillion. And that's where it pretty much has topped or is floating around. It would need Bitcoin to double, Ethereum to double, some of the big and large caps to double to make this a $10 trillion market. Here's the rest of the story. Wall Street leaders believe crypto will capture 10% in 5 years, representing 2 trillion daily volume as tokenized securities reach tipping point. Tokenized securities is the next wave. And on today's episode, we're going to talk a lot more about tokenized securities via Ondo Finance and the Algorand blockchain. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and we about to dive in. Okay, here's a story from Fortune. Consider BlackRock's game-changing embrace of Bitcoin ETFs in 2023, 2024, and later Ethereum. It didn't just lend legitimacy, it unlocked institutional access at scale. Today, BlackRock has become the largest TradFi driver of crypto adoption. It manages over 87 billion in spot Bitcoin ETF assets and 10 billion in Ethereum ETFs. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, y'all. BlackRock is also leading in DeFi adjacent areas. Its Build Fund, a tokenized US Treasury fund issued mostly on Ethereum via Securitized. It holds over 2.4 billion, almost 10% of the 25 billion tokenized asset market on chain. It's a direct example of TradFi using DeFi infrastructure without compromising regulatory standards, right? And then if we dive deeper into Ethereum, I do believe Ethereum is the next big winner because of the things I just read y'all. So this is the top Ethereum Treasury holdings. We have BitMine, which has a total of 1.8 million plus Ethereum, which is valued at $8 billion. Their goal is to reach 5% of the Ethereum supply. So I want y'all to check this clip out from Tom Lee, the chairman of BitMine.
BitMine has grown its treasury holdings quite rapidly. This is MicroStrategy's accumulation of Bitcoin over the last 5 years. And you can see that BitMine has raised 8.9 billion, something that took MicroStrategy over 1,200 days to reach. And let's not forget the roadmap ahead, that BitMine has many phases to its operations, but ultimately the focus is on getting to 5% of the Ethereum network.
You heard it from Tom Lee himself. He's saying that Ethereum should have an explosive run, and he's comparing BitMine's strategy to MicroStrategy. We've seen MicroStrategy go from $13 up to $300, hitting a 25x, and in that same time frame, Bitcoin hit a 10x. If the similar numbers happen on Ethereum, this is, $11,000, $20,000, $30,000 Ethereum with BitMine hitting at least a 25x or so. So a 40-something dollar BitMine could be $500-600-something dollar BitMine. So that's what he's pointing out, but that's the way of the market. So we have BitMine, SharpLink, Coinbase, BitDigital, ETHZilla are the top 5 Ethereum holders. That's huge for Ethereum. Then if you tap into Bitcoin, obviously Strategy, who's been making the strategy happen, went from MicroStrategy to Strategy, is the number 1 holder of Bitcoin, 600,036 Bitcoins for this data here. Then we have Marathon Holdings, XXI, Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company, bullish. That's a new one by Peter Thiel. And those are the top 5 holdings there. But the list for Bitcoin treasuries is a lot larger than Ethereum. But Ethereum is now on its way up. So again, Strategy is the leader here, and then Bitmine is the leader on the Ethereum treasuries. Now, the big news coming from Coinbase, coming September 22nd, Mag 7 plus crypto equity index futures. So we got Mag 7, we talking about Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, Tesla, and I know I'm missing 2 more, right? But the Mag 7. So we got on September 22nd, Coinbase Derivatives is expanding its product suite with the launch of equity index futures. Introducing Mag 7 plus crypto equity index futures, the first to offer combined exposure to both traditional equities and cryptocurrency ETFs. We're diversifying our US derivatives beyond single asset offerings for the first time, launching a new equity index product that provides thematic exposure to a wide range of innovation and growth assets. This is the biggest stuff happening right now from Coinbase, right? So if you ever trade futures, it would allow you to use leverage, 10, 20, 30, 50x leverage to go long or go short on a trade. 24/7 markets. So again, you got Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, and Tesla. And for some reason, Broadcom should be part of the Mag 7. They should call it Magnificent 8, actually. However, you have the Coinbase Global Stock Coin and then cryptocurrency ETFs, which is the iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, that's the one I trade options on, and then iShares Ethereum Trust, that's the other one that I use as well. So you got the top stocks, top 7 big dogs, technology, and then Bitcoin and Ethereum plus Coinbase all up in the mix. That's a powerful set of assets right there. So again, it's happening. It is definitely happening. Contracts, futures, big institutions, more signs of crypto mass adoption. Now, on to Ondo. So Ondo launched its platform on September 3rd, and this is the market that is for people outside of the US, outside of Canada, and a few other places, but this is tokenized assets. Now let's dive in. Ondo Global Markets is now live, providing one of the largest ever selections of tokenized US stocks and ETFs on chain with the liquidity of traditional finance starting on Ethereum. Keyword here is starting on Ethereum. So you got the speculators is thinking definitely Solana. They thinking XRP. People are hoping for Algorand. Base probably next, right? Those are the chains I'm watching, the Hedera's, the Stellar Lumens. 100 plus assets now live with hundreds of more on the way. So these are stocks right here. So Ondo Markets, global markets launches with support from many of the world's leading applications and platforms, including you got BitGet Wallet, Trust Wallet, OX, Chainlink, Gateway. And then here's the list of where you can get access to these things. So they're building the open economy. What they keep showing here is the U.S. stock market is worth 64 trillion. The global market is about 122 trillion. So the U.S. is basically, 50% or more of the whole U.S. stock market. Then we have China right after that, and then the European Union in third place with about 11 trillion. So those are the 3 big dogs. Obviously, the U.S. is dominating. So we want to get that tokenized, and more money could flow into crypto. Because remember, again, with Ethereum, if they're using Ethereum, Ethereum is in position to capture that value. Institutions buying Ethereum, we all holding Ethereum, they stake Ethereum, then Ethereum gets used more and more. Staking yields, fees, everything just keep going into a flywheel type of effect. And then can't forget stable coins. All right. So again, 24/7 peer-to-peer transferability, 25 instant mint and redemption, access to traditional exchange liquidity, DeFi compatibility. So you can see right here the 24/5 for instant mint and redemption is still Monday through Friday, but the transferability is Monday through Monday. So you got the secured, verified, enforced. Ondo tokenized stocks and ETFs are fully backed and secured by U.S. stocks and ETFs held at one or more U.S. regulated broker dealers. So this is really legit for everybody who can tap in. And then for the Chainlink community, you got proud to partner with Ondo Finance on its early launched Ondo Global Markets initiative, bringing 100 plus tokenized U.S. stocks and ETFs on chain by adopting Chainlink as its official Oracle platform for trusted asset price data. Ondo is driving enhanced DeFi composability and pioneering institutional grade on-chain finance at scale. Chainlink is basically saying they're going to benefit from all of this as well as being the main oracle that brings the prices online. That is legit. And they also are in position right now that they're taking the revenue from these type of deals, and then they're purchasing more Chainlink to create a Chainlink strategic reserve, which should make price hold stable and go up, and then get other people to want to hold Chainlink as well. Smart move. All right, and here's an example from the BitGet wallet. We're rolling out access to tokenized U.S. stocks and ETFs for everyone. 100 plus stocks and ETFs backed one-to-one, just like stablecoins. Includes stock dividends, that's nice, and freely transferable. Exchange grade markets and liquidity, zero fees, just buy and own. Wall Street is now for everyone. So again, in the U.S., we can already do this, but this is mostly for people outside the U.S. And again, if you look at it right here, pretty interesting. This is the image of what they're showing you, how it looks inside of their app. That's kind of crazy though. So again, all this is going to do is pump more of the stock market anyway. Now on to more tokenized news. This story has been circulating for a reason, because people are talking about tokenized assets. And here's the post. In 2024, Exodus became the first publicly traded company to tokenize its SEC regulated registered shares on the public blockchain. That's Algorand. These are real XOD shares, not wrappers, not synthetics, not shares in a foreign SPV, Exodus Class A common stock on chain. That's the key right there. That's why I brought up Ondo, Ethereum, and Algorand, like big time. Now, Algorand does have more news. They have their 2025 plus roadmap has been released. Algorand retail campaign is about to launch. Algo research is Algo is more energy efficient than Ethereum and Sol. That's what, again, I brought up Solana too. I think Ethereum, Solana, Algorand could all benefit. More liquidity from new market makers in a partnership. They partner with Easy A, and we'll dive in deeper to Easy A very soon. They're onboarding more users. The World Chess, I covered some of that. We'll talk about that more over time. Stablecoin transfers hitting all-time high. The Foundation Act announced they're moving to the United States, and then decentralized funding introduced through XGov. A lot of good stuff happening. And then again, Algorand, 13 weeks of bringing users on chain and showing them what you could do on a real blockchain. We're going to dive in, talk about the impact of that real soon. I think it should be pretty cool. And then if we want to talk about Algorand, I made a chart, technical analysis the other day. And if we look at this chart here, you got the daily chart pulled up. Here's the purple is the 200-day moving average. Algorand needs to hold this line. This will be the line to hold. And if you can hold that line, as I talked about before in the last video, right here, we should be good to go. It can keep trading in this range and then eventually hit a target here, hit a new target here, then anything can happen after that. So far, the markets are all pretty much going down and dumping. However, since this era of time here with Trump inauguration, Algorand is sitting right below this volume shelf and in between this one. So this is the range, and we just needed to hold this area, and then we should be able to climb on top and we're good. If not, the next volume range is here, which is putting Algorand back in these levels, which is 16, 17, 18, 19 cent. We don't want that. We want this and above. All right. Last week or 3 weeks ago, I asked y'all which crypto is next to reach 1 trillion. XRP won, 54% voted XRP. And that makes sense, right? 39 voted Ethereum. I'm more on the Ethereum side because Ethereum doesn't even make a full double and it's basically a trillion. XRP need to 5x. Ethereum is more like 1.5x or so, or maybe 2. Solana and then BNB 0. Now, the newest poll I got for y'all, which crypto makes a new all-time high by end of year? Algorand, Hedera, XRP, or Ondo Finance. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. Any other coins that y'all want me to chart or I should be paying attention to, making a video about. Live streams coming back soon. Make sure y'all tap in. Again, C-Will with the Passive Income Network, Pen Crypto. I'm going.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.